So Chainlink currently finds itself trading below both the 50 EMA and the 200 EMA. And here you can see that we ended up getting rejected at the 200 EMA, which then led to this move to the downside. And the bulls tried to regain control of the market and drive the price of Link towards the 50 EMA, but the bulls never really had the momentum to do so. And since then, we ended up getting rejected. And the interesting thing is on the stochastic RSI, on the daily chart, what you can see is we are more or less neutral, and you can slowly start to see that reversal take place. And so the bulls could continue to regain control of the market and potentially drive the price of Link towards either the 50 EMA or the 200 EMA. Or, of course, alternatively, what could happen is the bears could continue to regain control of the market and drive the price of Link towards lower lows, where this local low at $12.64 gets broken and we go slightly deeper. And we did see this move to the upside, followed by this move to the downside. And so it looks like Link is currently within a corrective move to the downside, where we could see a 50 to 88.2% retracement of this wave structure here. And so here you can see that Link has the potential to regenerate between $11.66 to $14.06, or anywhere within this region. And of course, we have tapped into that region. And so we could see a fact it's just in the right position. Bring that down to over here. So we could actually go even deeper towards $10.81 to $13.48. And so, yeah, again, it's possible that we'll go slightly deeper and then we see that reversal to the upside where we then break this local top at $17.98. So if I remove this and go on the hourly chart, what I'll do is I'll break down what's taken place recently. And here you can see that we ended up having this move to the downside, what looks to be made up of a WXY structure, where this was the W wave and we had a short X wave followed by a Y wave. And so what I'll do is use the Fib tool and check to see if that Y wave met the typical requirements, which is anywhere between 1 to 1.226 of the W wave. And here you can see that we ended up tapping into that region, where we retraced towards the 1.226 retracement level, where we ended up reaching $12.75, and that's exactly where the 1.226 retracement level is. And so it looks like that WXY structure is complete, and we are currently within a retracement to the upside, where what we could see is a 50 to 88.2% retracement of this W wave, where it looks like a bigger WXY structure is forming. So again, using the Fib tool and bring that down to over here. So you can see that Link has the potential to regenerate between $14.13 to $15.28, which is this level here. And here we have tapped into that region, and so it's possible that we see a reversal to the downside where we see low lows to make up that Y wave, but I am looking out for a bigger move to the upside where we tap into the upper target within this region here. And you can also see that we ended up having this WXY structure play out also. So if I remove this Fib tool and use another Fib tool, and we did extend beyond the typical requirements, which is this region here between $13.68 to $13.89. And so it's possible that what we are forming is a WXYXZ structure, where that Z wave will then tap into this region. Or it's also possible that the Y wave ended up extending beyond the typical requirements, which can happen from time to time. And this move to the upside is not an impulsive move. And reason being is because we failed to reach the 1.618 retracement level at $14.24 to make up that third wave. And in addition to that, if it was a 5-wave move that was in play, you can see that this fourth wave ended up crossing the wave 1 or the wave 2 origin. So if I remove the Fib tool for now, so you can see that if this was a 5-wave move, this would have been the wave 1, followed by a wave 2 and a wave 3 and a wave 4. And this wave 4 ended up crossing the wave 1 or the wave 2 origin at $13.60. And in a 5-wave move, what you can't have is a fourth wave cross the wave 1 or the wave 2 origin. And so again, I can discount that scenario from playing out. And so it looks like either a WXYXZ structure is playing out, or we just had a WXY structure that played out. And we are now in a retracement to the downside, where we could see a 50 to 88.2% retracement of this wave structure here. And so we have tapped into that region where that 50% retracement level at $13.44 was broken, and we went slightly deeper towards $13.31. So if I remove this and remove this, so what I am looking at for now is a bigger WXY structure to the upside, where this is a W wave, this is the X wave that we're currently in, and followed by a Y wave. And so what I'll do is go on the 5-minute chart and check to see what has taken place. And here it looks like what we had forming was a 5-wave move to make up the W wave. So it looks like a WXY structure ended up forming, where this was a W wave made up of a 5-wave move. So if I go on the minute chart instead, I think that would be more clearer. So if I was to draw that out, this was the wave 1, followed by a wave 2. And if I zoom in, we had a wave 3 that ended up reaching $13.75, followed by a wave 4, and a final 5th wave move where we ended up reaching $13.66. And you can see that this third wave extended beyond the 1.618 retracement level of the wave 1. So very quickly, if I use the fib tool again and bring that down to over here, as you can see that the 1.618 retracement level sits at $13.88, and we ended up reaching the 2.618 retracement level at $13.74. So it looks like the 5-wave move is complete to make up the W wave, and we had a WXY structure to make up the X wave, followed by another 5-wave move to the downside to complete the Y wave. So again, using the fib tool, bringing that down to over here. So you can see that we ended up tapping into the typical requirements for the Y wave, which is anywhere between that 1 to 1.226 retracement level. So it looks like the WXY structure is now complete, and we have this move to the upside that's in play right now. And so if I zoom out slightly, what you can see is Link has the potential to reach anywhere between, if I zoom into over here and over here, so Link has the potential to reach anywhere between $13.73 to $14.07. And of course, we have tapped into that region. And so again, it's possible that we see a reversal to the downside. So I am looking at for Link to tap into this region where we have a bigger WXY structure that's forming, with this potentially being a W wave, this being an X wave, followed by another move to the upside to complete a Y wave, where that Y wave would also be made up of a WXY structure, like so. And so I'm looking for this local top at around $13.80 to be broken, and we see a higher high. And following this move, if I go back to the hourly chart, I would then be looking out for another move to the downside to complete this WXY structure, to complete the X wave, and then followed by another push to the upside where we then tap into this region here. And should that be the case, then we could see a further move to the downside where a bigger WXY structure will form, like so. And so yeah, that's just my update on Link. Hopefully you found it useful, and if you did, then feel free to hit that like button, and if you're new, feel free to subscribe. Take it easy, people. Peace.